Hello everyone, welcome back to the lecture series on electronic instrumentation, and this is Shekhar, your course instructor. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about amplified DC voltmeter, which is used for the measurement of voltages in the range of very few magnitudes. And in the current lecture, we are going to discuss about true RMS based voltmeter. In the current lecture, we are going to discuss about true RMS responding voltmeter. So, before going into the actual concepts of this true RMS responding voltmeter, let us discuss about the learning outcomes of this lecture. So, after successful completion of this lecture, you will be able to know the working of this true RMS responding meter. You will learn about the working and construction details of the true RMS responding meter, and you will be able to measure RMS value of the signals. You will be able to measure RMS value of signals, and you will have the insights of signal conditioning. You will have the insights of signal conditioning. In general, for measurement of voltages, we have a number of meters, but in the same way for the measurement of RMS signals also, we have averaging voltmeters, which are used for the measurement of RMS voltages for sinusoidal signals. But when the case comes for non-sinusoidal signals, so we have averaging meters, which are used for the measurement of RMS voltages of sinusoidal signals. But when the case is of non-sinusoidal signals, we do not have any specific meter which is useful for the measurement of RMS voltages. So, this particular RMS reading voltmeter or RMS responding voltmeter is used for the measurement of RMS voltages for the signals which are non-sinusoidal. So, that is the basic purpose of having this RMS reading voltmeter or true RMS responding voltmeter. So, general meters, it will be having the input will be sinusoidal, and we can measure the RMS voltages by using averaging equipment. But these RMS reading voltmeters are used for the signals which are non-sinusoidal in nature, So, this is the block diagram of a true RMS responding voltmeter, and here the functionality is based upon the thermal effect. Here, unlike any other meter, in this meter we will be using thermal effect of the voltages for the measurement of the input signal. So, for that we will be using thermocouples. So, in general, till now what are the meter you have seen, we will be measuring the voltages or currents in other parameters, but only in this true RMS responding voltmeter we will be measuring the voltage by taking this secondary effect of thermal nature, and from the thermal nature we will be measuring the input signal. So, let us see how it will happen. In this we will be having the input voltage source. Through this input voltage source we will be giving this meter the input signal that has to be measured, and this input voltage source is being amplified using an AC amplifier. So, this input voltage source will be amplified because the magnitude of the signal can be of any very small nature also. So, for the efficient measurement of the signal, we are going to amplify this input signal. So, when we amplify this input signal, the output of this amplifier is connected to a resistor here. If you observe, the output of this amplifier is connected to a resistor. So, what will happen? So, when we connect this output of this amplifier to a resistor, the currents will flow through it, and obviously it will generate some heat. The resistor will generate some heat, that is the thermal effect. So, we will place a thermocouple. Within the proximity of this resistor, so that the heat generated by this resistor will be absorbed by this thermocouple, and corresponding reading will be displayed in the PMMC galvanometer. So, the resistor will be connected, the input signal is given to the amplifier, then the output of the amplifier is connected to a resistor, and in the, or else we can replace the resistor with a heating coil also. For efficient measurement, we can replace this resistor with a heating coil also. So, when we apply this input signal via this amplifier to the heating coil, it will generate some heat, and because of that heat the surrounding area of this coil will also get heated up, and we will place a thermocouple within the proximity range of this heating coil. So, whenever there is a change in temperature of this thermocouple, it will accordingly provide us the output reading in the PMMC meter. And before that, we also have a balancing thermocouple over here. So, what is the need of this balancing thermocouple? Let us see. We know a thermocouple is having a non-linearity. Thermocouple is non-linear in nature. So, this non-linearity may affect the measurement of this input signal. So, to eliminate the effect of these non-linearities, we are having one more balanced thermocouple over here. The purpose of this balancing thermocouple is to eliminate the non-linear effects of this measuring thermocouple. So, we will see how it will happen. So, in initial case, when there is no input signal applied to the instrument, the temperature will be a normal temperature or room temperature. So, the thermocouple will be giving a signal, and the thermocouple will give the signal to the amplifier, and amplifier will amplify the input signal coming to it, and it will connect it to the PMMC galvanometer. And the input to this amplifier is nothing but the difference between the voltages or parameters measured by this measuring thermocouple and balancing thermocouple. The input to this DC amplifier is the difference between the outputs of measuring thermocouple and balancing thermocouple. So, at room temperature, both the thermocouples are at the same temperature. So, the error signal to this amplifier will be 0, because as both the thermocouples are at same temperature, the output signals generated by both thermocouples will be equal. As we are taking the difference of these two thermocouple outputs as input to this DC amplifier, at room temperature, the input to this DC amplifier will be 0. So, output of DC amplifier will also be 0, and which is connected to the PMMC galvanometer. So, the PMMC galvanometer will display a 0 reading. So, when room temperature is there, or else when both the thermocouples are at constant temperature, the outputs will be equal. So, the difference of these two thermocouples, output difference of these two thermocouples is given as input to the amplifier. As both signals are in equal, the difference error will be 0. So, amplifier will not have any input signal. So, obviously, output of amplifier will be 0. Accordingly, the PMMC galvanometer will display a 0 reading. When an input signal is applied to this meter, so based upon this input signal, the signal will be amplified using this amplifier and is given to this heating coil. So, when we connect this heating coil to this input signal, the temperature of this heating coil will vary, and accordingly the temperature at this junction will increase. As the temperature of heating coil increases, the temperature surroundings also will be varied, and this thermocouple, this measuring thermocouple will sense that temperature, and it will generate some additional voltage according to the heat generated by this heating coil. But the balancing thermocouple is away from this measuring thermocouple, and it will be maintained at a normal temperature only. So, whenever this input signal is applied, there will be a change in the signal generated by this measuring thermocouple, and it will be more than the output of this thermocouple will be more than the output of this balancing thermocouple. So, there will be a error signal. The difference there is a difference between these two signals. So, the error will be given as input to the amplifier. So, this amplifier will amplify the signal further, so that it can be measured accurately, so that it can be displayed in the PMMC galvanometer properly, and that signal is given to this PMMC galvanometer as an output, and the same amplified signal is given back to this balancing thermocouple, so that this coil temperature will also, here we in this balancing thermocouple also we have heating coil, and this error signal is given to this heating coil, and the coil will generate some heat which is in correlation with the signal given to this thermocouple. So, this thermocouple also will come back to the situation. This thermocouple also will voltage of the thermocouple also will increase according to the heat generated by this coil, and the outputs will again match. The input thermocouple and the output thermocouple, the outputs will be matched, and the error signal will be 0, and the PMMC will be back to 0 position. So, we will once again take this one. So, when there is no input signal to this meter, both the thermocouples are at same temperature, both the heating coils of these thermocouples are at constant temperature. So, the signal generated by these two thermocouples are equal, and the input given to this amplifier is the difference between the two signals. So, as the two signals are equal, we will not have any difference between the signals. So, there will be not any error signal. So, amplifier will not have an error signal to as its input. So, output of the amplifier will also be 0, that will be connected to the PMMC galvanometer. So, PMMC also shows 0 deflection. But when we connect an input signal, when we start giving input signal to this equipment, based upon the amount of input signal, the temperature of the measuring thermocouple will be increased, because this input signal is amplified and given to this heating coil of this measuring thermocouple. So, based upon the input signal, the temperature of this heating coil will vary, and accordingly the signal generated by this thermocouple, measuring thermocouple, will increase. So, and the balanced thermocouple will be at a normal temperature only. So, there will be a difference between the signals of these two thermocouples, and the difference will generate an error signal, and that error signal is given as input to the amplifier. This amplifier will amplify that error signal so as to be given to the PMMC galvanometer for measuring purpose, for display purpose, and the same error signal after amplification is given back to this balancing thermocouple to bring the bridge again, to bring this equipment back to the normal condition, so as to it should be ready for the next measurement. The signal, amplified error signal, is given to this balancing thermocouple. So, depending upon the signal, this heating coil will be heated up, and the balancing thermocouple signal also will start increasing, and will increase till it is equal to this signal of this measuring thermocouple. So, when both the thermocouples are at same temperature, are at same temperature, the signals generated by these two thermocouples will be equal, and so there will be not be any error signal, and the DC amplifier input of this DC amplifier will be 0, corresponding the output of the DC amplifier will be 0, and PMMC will get back to its 0 position, and the system is back to normal condition, means back to balance condition, and it is ready for the next measurement. So, whenever there is another signal, it is applied and the process will go on. So, in this way, by using the property of heating nature of the electrical signal, we are measuring the RMS voltages. So, the reading displayed in the PMMC galvanometer is directly given as square root of the RMS value of this input signal. So, the scaling of the galvanometer is made such that it will directly give the square root of the RMS of the input signal. So, the applications of this true RMS responding voltmeter is, it is used for the measurement of RMS voltages of the signals which are not having sinusoidal nature. That is, for the signals of non-sinusoidal nature, we can use this true RMS responding voltmeter for measuring the RMS value. And these are the references for this lecture. Thank you.